Most seniors think weak legs are just aging. That's not true. What if your daily drink is quietly draining your strength? And what if 3 simple teas could help restore energy, stability, and confidence faster than you expect? Ignore this, and your mobility could keep slipping every single day now. Weak legs don't happen overnight. They build slowly from hidden deficiencies and poor circulation. Today, I'll show you 3 powerful teas that support stronger, steadier legs naturally and simply. When your legs feel heavy and tired early in the day, that is not just getting older. That is your body sending a signal. Something is off at a deeper level. Most people ignore this sign because it starts subtly. You wake up, you walk a little, and already your legs feel like they've done too much. That's not normal. What's really happening here is often a combination of low cellular energy and poor circulation. Your muscles run on fuel, just like an engine. If that fuel is not delivered properly, or if the quality of that fuel is poor, your muscles fatigue much faster than they should. You don't need intense activity to feel tired. Even basic movement starts to feel like effort. Now think about this. Your legs are the largest muscle group in your body. They require the most energy and the most blood flow. So when there's even a small deficiency, whether it's nutrients, oxygen, or hydration, your legs are the first place you feel it. That heaviness is not random. It's feedback. Another hidden factor is electrolyte imbalance. Minerals like potassium and magnesium play a key role in muscle contraction and relaxation. When these are even slightly off, your muscles don't perform smoothly. Instead of feeling light and responsive, they feel sluggish and tight. Over time, this creates that constant tired sensation. There's also the issue of circulation. If blood flow to your legs is not efficient, nutrients and oxygen are delayed. At the same time, waste products build up faster. This creates that dragging, heavy feeling, especially after standing or walking for short periods. You might notice it more in the morning or after sitting for a while. And here's something most people overlook. What you drink daily matters more than you think. Many common beverages actually contribute to dehydration or mineral loss. That slowly worsens muscle fatigue. So even if you're eating okay, your drinks could be working against you without you realizing it. This is where the right teas come in. Certain teas naturally support hydration, improve circulation, and provide trace minerals your muscles depend on. They don't act like a quick stimulant. Instead, they work with your body to restore balance. That's why the effect feels smoother and more sustainable. When you start giving your body what it's actually missing, something interesting happens. That early fatigue begins to fade. Your legs don't feel as heavy. Movement feels more natural again, not because of a temporary boost, but because the underlying issue is being supported. Most people wait until weakness becomes severe before they take action. But this early sign, this simple heaviness, is your warning. It's your chance to correct the problem before it limits your mobility further. And once you understand what's causing it, you realize how simple the solution can actually be. Struggling to stand up from a chair is one of the clearest early warnings that leg strength is declining. Most people brush it off. They think, I just need to move slower, or that's normal at my age. But it's not something you should ignore. It tells you your muscles are not responding the way they used to. Standing up is a basic movement, but it's actually very demanding. It requires coordination between your thighs, hips, and core. These muscles have to activate quickly and generate enough bPORN to lift your body weight. When that system weakens, even slightly, you start to notice hesitation, effort, or even the need to push off with your hands. That small change is a big signal. What's happening underneath is often a drop in muscle efficiency. Your body still has muscle, but it's not firing properly. The communication between your nerves and muscles slows down. So instead of a smooth, quick movement, you get a delayed, shaky effort. That's why it feels harder than it should. Another factor is low energy production inside the muscle cells. Your muscles rely on tiny structures called mitochondria to produce energy. As we age or when nutrition is off, these energy systems slow down. That means your muscles don't have the immediate power they need for movements like standing up. You feel it as weakness or instability. There's also the issue of protein utilization. Even if someone eats enough protein, the body may not be using it efficiently. Without proper absorption and support nutrients, muscle repair and maintenance suffer. Over time, this leads to gradual loss of strength, especially in the legs. Now add poor circulation to the mix. If blood flow to the lower body is limited, muscles don't get enough oxygen or nutrients when they need it most. This makes movement slower and more difficult. It also increases recovery time, so each effort feels more draining than the last. And here's something most people don't connect. Hydration plays a major role in muscle performance. When the body is slightly dehydrated, muscle function drops. Signals slow down, strength decreases. This makes everyday movements like standing up feel unusually hard. This is where simple changes can make a noticeable difference. Certain natural drinks, especially herbal teas, can support hydration, improve circulation, and provide key compounds that help muscles function better. They don't force the body, they support it. Over time, when your muscles start getting better support, they respond differently. The delay you feel when standing begins to shrink. The movement becomes smoother. You rely less on your hands. Confidence starts to return in small, everyday actions. The important thing to understand is that this sign doesn't appear suddenly. It builds slowly. First, it's a slight effort, then it becomes noticeable, then it turns into dependence on support. That's the progression you want to interrupt early, because once standing up becomes difficult, other movements follow. Walking, climbing stairs, even maintaining balance. It all connects. That's why this one simple action tells you so much about your overall leg strength. And when you start supporting your body the right way, even small improvements in this movement can signal a much bigger shift happening underneath. Frequent cramps or stiffness in the legs are often dismissed as minor annoyances, but they're actually strong warning signals. Your muscles are trying to tell you something is off. These sudden tight contractions or constant stiffness are not random. They usually point to an imbalance that's been building quietly over time. Muscles depend on a precise balance of minerals to contract and relax properly. The two big players here are potassium and magnesium. When these drop even slightly, your muscles lose their ability to function smoothly. Instead of a controlled movement, you get sudden tightening, discomfort, or that locked-up feeling. Now here's the problem. As people age, they often absorb fewer nutrients from food. Even if the diet looks okay, the body may not be pulling in enough of these key minerals. That creates a gap between what your muscles need and what they're actually getting. Over time, that gap shows up as cramps and stiffness. Hydration is another major factor that's often overlooked. Muscles need fluid to stay flexible and responsive. When the body is even mildly dehydrated, muscles become more prone to cramping. And here's the catch, many seniors don't feel thirst as strongly, so they drink less without realizing it. That makes the problem worse. There's also a nerve component involved. Your nerves send signals that tell muscles when to contract and when to relax. If those signals become irregular due to stress, fatigue, or nutrient deficiencies, you get misfires. That's when cramps can hit suddenly, even when you're resting or sleeping. Circulation plays a role too. Poor blood flow means fewer nutrients and less oxygen reaching the muscles. At the same time, waste products like lactic acid can build up more quickly. This combination creates an environment where muscles are more likely to tighten and stay tight. You might notice these cramps happening at night, during light activity, or even after sitting for a while. That's because your muscles are already in a sensitive state. It doesn't take much to trigger that uncomfortable reaction. And here's something many people miss. What you drink daily can either help or worsen this condition. Some beverages can actually flush out important minerals or contribute to dehydration. Over time, that increases the frequency of cramps and stiffness without you realizing the cause. This is where certain teas can make a meaningful difference. Some herbal teas naturally contain trace minerals and compounds that support muscle relaxation and hydration. Others help improve circulation, allowing nutrients to reach your muscles more effectively. The key is consistency. These small inputs over time help restore balance. When your body starts getting the support it needs, you may notice fewer sudden cramps. The stiffness begins to ease. Your muscles feel more relaxed, especially during rest. It's not about forcing the muscles to stop cramping. It's about removing the underlying triggers. Ignoring this sign can lead to bigger issues. Tight, cramping muscles don't perform well. They fatigue faster, they recover slower, and they increase the risk of instability. That can affect how you walk, how you balance, and how confident you feel moving around. So when cramps and stiffness start showing up regularly, it's not something to push aside. It's one of the clearest signs your body is asking for better support. And once you start addressing the root causes, your muscles can begin to feel smoother, calmer, and far more reliable again. Poor balance or unsteady walking is one of the most serious signs that something deeper is going on in your body. This isn't just about your legs. It's about coordination, nerve function, and how well different systems are working together. When balance starts to slip, your risk of falls increases, and that's where real problems begin. Most people think balance is just about strength, but it's more complex than that. Your brain, nerves, muscles, and inner ear all have to communicate instantly and accurately. The moment that communication slows down or becomes inconsistent, you start to feel unstable. You may notice small things first, slight wobbling, needing to hold on to something, or feeling unsure on uneven ground. Your legs play a central role in this system. They are constantly making tiny adjustments to keep you upright. If your muscles are weak or fatigued, they can't respond quickly enough. That delay, even if it's just a fraction of a second, can make you feel off balance. Nerve health is another key factor. Your nerves send signals from your brain to your muscles, telling them how to move and react. If those signals become weaker or slower, your movements lose precision. This can happen due to nutrient deficiencies, poor circulation, or simply long-term stress on the body. The result is a lack of coordination that shows up as unsteady walking. Circulation again plays a major role here. Your brain and muscles both depend on steady blood flow. If that flow is reduced, even slightly, your reaction time and control can suffer. You may feel lightheaded or unsure of your footing, especially when standing up or walking for longer periods. There's also the issue of joint stiffness. When joints in the hips, knees, or ankles become tight, your range of motion decreases. That makes it harder to adjust your position quickly. Instead of smooth, controlled steps, your movement becomes rigid. That stiffness adds to the feeling of instability. Now consider hydration. When your body lacks enough fluids, everything slows down. Nerve signals become less efficient, muscles fatigue faster, and your overall coordination drops. Even mild dehydration can affect balance more than most people realize. And here's something that often gets overlooked: confidence. When you start feeling unsteady, you naturally become more cautious. You take shorter steps, you hesitate, and you rely more on support. This actually changes your walking pattern, making balance even more difficult. It becomes a cycle. What you drink every day can influence many of these factors. Certain natural teas can help support circulation, improve hydration, and provide compounds that assist nerve function. They don't act like a quick fix, but they help your body perform more efficiently over time. As your body starts to regain better support, small improvements begin to show. Your steps feel more stable. You don't need to grab onto things as often. Your movements become smoother and more controlled. These changes may seem subtle at first, but they build momentum. Ignoring balance issues is risky because they tend to progress. What starts as a slight wobble can turn into a real limitation. And once a fall happens, recovery becomes much harder. That's why this sign is so important to catch early. It's not just about preventing falls. It's about maintaining independence and confidence in your daily movement. And when your body starts getting the right support, your stability can improve in ways that feel both natural and reassuring. Slow movement and low endurance are often brushed off as simple fatigue, but they reveal something deeper about how your body is functioning. When your legs feel slow, when walking takes more effort, and when you tire quickly, it usually means your energy systems are not working efficiently. This is not just about how much you rest. It's about how well your body produces and uses energy. Your muscles rely on a steady supply of fuel to keep moving. That fuel comes from nutrients and oxygen delivered through your blood. When this process is smooth, movement feels natural and sustained. But when there's a breakdown anywhere along that chain, your endurance drops. You feel it as early fatigue, slower steps, and the need to stop more often. One of the main reasons for this is reduced mitochondrial function. These are the tiny parts inside your cells responsible for producing energy. As they become less efficient, your muscles don't get the power they need for continuous movement. Instead of lasting energy, you get short bursts followed by quick exhaustion. Another factor is poor oxygen delivery. Your muscles need oxygen to generate energy effectively. If circulation is not strong, oxygen doesn't reach your leg muscles in the right amounts. This forces your body to rely on less efficient energy pathways, which produce fatigue much faster. That's why even simple activities can start to feel draining. Blood sugar balance also plays a role. When your energy supply is unstable, your body struggles to maintain consistent performance. You may feel okay for a short time, then suddenly lose energy. This inconsistency makes movement feel unpredictable and discouraging. Hydration again becomes critical here. When your body lacks enough fluids, your blood becomes thicker and moves more slowly. This affects how quickly nutrients and oxygen reach your muscles. The result is reduced stamina and slower recovery after activity. There's also a muscular endurance component. Muscles that are not regularly supported with proper nutrients and circulation begin to lose their ability to sustain effort. They may still work, but only for short periods. After that, they fatigue quickly, forcing you to slow down or stop. What makes this more challenging is how gradually it develops. You may not notice it at first. You just walk a little less, move a little slower, and take more breaks. Over time, this becomes your new normal. But underneath, your body is signaling that it needs better support. Now here's where daily habits become powerful. What you drink can either support or drain your energy systems. Some beverages contribute to dehydration or provide empty stimulation without real nourishment. Others, like certain herbal teas, can help improve hydration, support circulation, and provide natural compounds that assist energy production. When your body starts receiving consistent support, your endurance can begin to shift. You may notice you can walk a bit longer without stopping. Your steps feel lighter. You recover faster after movement. These are small changes, but they indicate that your energy systems are becoming more efficient. Ignoring this sign can lead to a cycle of reduced activity. The less you move, the weaker your muscles become. The weaker your muscles become, the harder it is to move. Breaking that cycle starts with understanding what your body is missing and supporting it in simple, sustainable ways. Because once your energy improves, everything else follows. Movement becomes easier, confidence increases, and your overall strength has a chance to rebuild. And when your endurance starts to come back, it opens the door to moving freely and living more actively again,